to heal, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels. I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. A nice road it feels. I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
What's up, everybody? Howdy, howdy. Hopefully, I'm coming to you live from my office. Hopefully, everything is working all right. I had to be on campus for some meetings. We got a Rocket League match tonight, so I just decided to stay and broadcast from here. See how it goes. Definitely different mic. I'm just using like a fancy speaker bar from Dell, and obviously my in-laptop camera. So, MG, Mad, what's up? Thump, howdy, 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 everybody. Welcome to Banter with Antor. We'll give a couple minutes to the slackers. To be honest, competitive collegiate disgusts me. All right, cool. Glad you're here. Doesn't sound too bad. Hey, that's good. Good, good. I am glad that it's not too bad. Oh, only the things I work on are cool. Everything else sucks. All right, that's fair. Not surprised by that. I feel like we've heard that before. Based. What do you even do, you connect? Oh boy, we're gonna get a fight in here. Slan's coming in hot. Oh, fun. Fun, fun. Oh, well, this week I'm heading to Fargo, North Dakota for the next NACAD regional clinic. Talk about Rocket League coaching. Woo! Anybody else heading to Fargo? What do you do? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh mods. Oh no. Hot take you connect, but your opinion is valued. Wow, that is a hot take. Yikes. Where did you get this art? Delicious cake you earned. I want that cake emote. That's kind of dope. Kind of jealous of that. I've got yeah, I got my TwitchCon emote thing. Thingamajig. Let's go. Nice. Nice, nice. What's up? Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back. I want the opinions of the folks who went to Scholars and were in Vegas, how it was. Let us know. Let us know what was up. I have heard positive things. It was okay, haha. All right. Why was the live stream so delayed? Yeah, that was weird. It was like broadcast live 3 hours later. I don't know why. It was year one. Best way to sum it up. That's fair. That's fair. Live stream was horribly delayed. Yeah, wasn't it 3 hours? I thought it was 3 hours. It basically went live when the award show ended. My assumption is that is because they had people give speeches and they wanted the ability to like edit out things if needed, is my guess. Manitoba says hi. What up? I say hi back. Yeah, buddy. Yes, about as well as year one could have gone. It went live even an hour after it was advertised. That's rough. I honestly didn't stay up. I tweeted that I was going to, but then I was like, it's 11 o'clock. I'm tired. It's not supposed to start for another hour. There's no way that I'm gonna make it up. So I went to bed. Went to bed. Oh, I don't know why it couldn't just be delayed a little bit. Like put on a couple minute delay so you can go BRB if someone goes off the rails or something. I don't know why. I don't know. I wonder if there was a tech question mark on that, like a infrastructure question problem. They told St. Clair that the category they were in didn't exist when it wasn't included in the ceremony. Yeah, I heard about that. Basically, St. Clair was up for Program of the Year, and there was miscommunication on like when it was supposed to be. It was announced that it would be during the actual esports awards. I don't know if it was or if it was during like the pre-show of the esports awards. I still don't know when it was announced. Yeah. Hot take: Scholastic esports is important simply to ensure that main events and majors happen at decent times so us old teachers can get a good night's sleep. That's fair. That's funny. By the way, I'm just trolling Adam. Yeah. Yeah, it's That's Dylan. He's a massive troll. I just let it roll off me at this point. 3 a.m. are peak gamer hours, though. Hey, that's fair. Good point. Yeah, that's true. It's interesting. It's interesting. The timing, they have the times for across the globe for Scholars Awards. The company that runs Scholars Awards and Esports Awards is based out of the UK, but like all the award finalists were from the US. But then they decided to do the production on live stream or semi live stream during sleeping hours for the United States. It seems like it's all over the board. I don't know. It's just very weird. 3 a.m. are peak sleeping hours? Yes. For us, they are peak sleeping hours. Yeah, yeah. Well, big news in collegiate esports this week is Cody Elson leaving Northwood University. I don't know if you all saw that or not. I can pop up that screen so we're not just staring at my big head. But this week, Cody announced he's leaving. He's going to North Carolina State. I think it was only a matter of time. Yeah. Oh, can I leak something on here? It's kind of well known. Sure. Just, I mean, I'm not liable for anything you leak or go against any NDAs. But yeah, W Cody gonna go work at a big D1. It'll be interesting because I don't believe they'll have a competitive team for a couple years. EFU's officially lost Collegiate Rocket League. Is that public? I don't know if that's public. Did you vote for me, Travis? I think that's all I need to know. I guess you'll have to stick around and find out. But more of the of course Dylan wants to leak something. Did you vote? Yeah. But more of a internal staff know now before even the staff didn't know. Who's taking College COD back? That'll be interesting. I'm not here to leak anything. I'm not here to leak any information that I do or do not know. I have a guess on College COD. It shall be interesting. He's blinking in Morse code. I might be blinking in Morse code. Play back the replay. I'm not under any NDAs for this. That's good. That's good. Write it down. Shoot. Here I was, thought I was going to get canceled for my opinions on my Scholar Awards votes, but instead it's going to be the leaks that happen in my chat and what I do or do not spoil for the rest of you all. Yeah. I've heard rumors on the College COD stuff. I've heard rumors. Obviously, I've heard rumors on the CRL stuff, but I don't know where it's going. I don't think I've even heard rumors on that specific front. But yeah. Congrats to Cody. Cody's finishing up his time at Northwood University. He's going to be heading down to North Carolina with his family and to start at a big D1. Sounds like the D1 has a lot of big plans. Really excited to have him and support esports. But sounds like Cody's going to be out of competitive for a couple years. So what does that mean for collegiate esports? I don't know. As for Northwood, they have announced their new, the folks taking over. Jacob has been on their staff for a while. He is the assistant director at Northwood currently. He will step in as the director. And then one of their alumni, Aiden, will be stepping in as the new assistant. It says here that he's served as the team manager and content production lead over the last year. And both of them are actually graduates of Northwood. I think that's really cool that they're both alumni. What is really interesting, and here's my hot take here, is that I don't believe we've seen a successful transition of power from a director to another new director at a highly competitive institution. We have not seen a successful one, in my opinion. Or we haven't seen a program that's had one director become really successful, really highly competitive. That director leaves, a new director takes over, and it stays at that same level. I think we've seen, for the most part, when those transitions happen, goals, priorities shift, and I think the competitive side of things suffers. So I'm skeptical at seeing Northwood as reigning as this dominant competitive varsity program for the next for the future, for the foreseeable future. It will take some time for that to catch up. I'm assuming Northwood will stay competitive this year. They'll be fairly competitive next year, but I don't see them as being a top five in most game titles like they are this year. Next year, my assumption is players will leave, culture will change, recruiting will probably suffer. That's just what I've seen. So I got a couple of people in chat who say, I know multiple students who are leaving, very good players. I've also heard that as well. Only a matter of time that the better, smaller school directors take over D1 programs, better resources for the most part. Correct. Yeah. A lot of the D1s are appointing former student leaders. Also fair. I think it depends on where the D1 is housing their esports initiatives. If it stays under like a rec and wellness or student life, we are seeing some of those former student directors get hired. But in a lot of the D1, the major D1s, they're hiring outside with directors from other schools. The value big schools look for is different from small schools. Big schools don't care about wins. Yeah, totally fair on that. Totally fair on that front. But I think those D1s are looking for folks who have shown that they can lead students, and sometimes sometimes those institutions overlook their former student leaders. But yeah, we see both of it, I think. Does Zanil care who is at the top? Going to get W's no matter the director. We thinking big players leave with Cody leaving. I'm assuming that players who are not bought into the institution of Northwood may look to leave, or students who are heavily involved with coming there because of Cody and Cody's connections and what Cody was building may leave. And as with any program, if one big player leaves, that can lead to other players looking and potentially leaving as well. It's just it's hard to say how it'll go. Folks internally at Northwood don't believe that it's going to be a massive change, at least short term, 2 to 3 years. But I'm skeptical as I've watched other programs go through leadership changes as well. It's just what we've seen is some usually drastic changes from a competitive standpoint. And some of that has to do with students leaving. Some of that has to do with not being able to recruit talent in as it graduates, and then other parts of it have to deal with just culture change. A different leader is going to have different standards, different goals, different ways of leading that could be more or less conducive to a competitive environment. Trying to catch up on chat, knowing what the state of NC is looking for with esports and the fact they're looking for NC State to lead those efforts at the collegiate level. Cody is going to do an amazing job. Yeah, I'm really interested. I think it's really fascinating that Cody is willing to take a job where they might not have a competitive team for a couple years. It's like he's taken a break from the competitive side to, I mean, obviously build things up, but it's fascinating to like have a top tier program directing that program day to day and then deciding to kind of take a step back for a couple of years and lean more on the administrative side of things. Just curious, what is the transfer rules in CRL or collegiate in general? Are there windows, holds, etc., or can a player transfer? There's no rules. I think Valorant, as Cappico is saying, is the only one he knows of, and they're only allowed to compete at one school per academic year. So Valorant allows you to transfer basically between over the summer, or if you don't play in the fall somewhere, you can transfer and then play somewhere in the spring. But no other collegiate leagues have transfer rules at this point, which is a massive problem in my opinion in the industry. But yeah, is what it is. Let's see. What's next on my agenda? Before I get to my scholars award stuff, I'm gonna actually push that towards the end. I want to hop into some collegiate news here. We saw 5 days ago that, and we just mentioned it in the chat a little bit, but College Cod officially tweeted from their account that they're coming very soon. Who's taking it over is to be announced. I believe, from my understanding, it's been determined, but that is not public at this point in time, to my knowledge. But big dub for College Cod. Your hair looks nice today. Thank you so much. I think I was just thinking like earlier today that like it's at a good place. Like any longer I'll need to cut. Any shorter doesn't look right. Now I'm gonna obsess over it. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Quick congratulations to the teams that won their respective NACE championships. NACE hosted their varsity premier in-person LAN this past weekend in Boise at Boise State University. I don't know how I should show this. Let's see. There's not like one tweet that has all the winners on it. Like they're individual tweets, which is kind of annoying. But let's see if I can. Let's see if I can like black this stuff out. Black this stuff out, kind of. So I don't share anything. But these are your teams who won their NACE Varsity Premier Championships and then their NACE Open Premier Championships. You see over here, R6 Akron, CS2 was RIT Rochester Institute of Technology, I believe. COD was Oklahoma Christian, West Virginia, One Rocket League, etc. You can look at all those. Matt says, shout out MJB for finally taking home that CS trophy. There you go. But big shout outs to those folks. Congrats to those teams. What other championships have happened at this point? I can't even keep track of all these. We are in championship season, folks. Not sure if you're aware or not, but there is championships galore. Get back to this. And then I'm going to find. Bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Categories. ECAC is wrapping up in the next 2 weeks, currently in semis generally across the games. Nice. Nice. Good luck to everybody in ECAC. Does NECC do their stuff? Their national stuff usually is in the spring, but they have their, obviously, finals for their, I don't know what they call them, divisions or conferences should be happening. Da, 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 da. All right. Shall we start what you've all come to view? What you've all been waiting for. I should take this wrapper off here. I'm not sponsored by Aquafina. I'm too lazy. All right, we're talking about Scholars Awards. Let's go! Scholars Awards. Yeah, so Scholars Awards happened last week. I'm peeking on my mic. I've been peeking probably all things. So sorry about that. I know Adam didn't vote for me. I'm not subbed. I'm not gonna lie. If you were subbed, it'd be a higher chance. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But Scholars Awards happened. Folks in chat said it was okay. It was year one, etc., etc. Maybe it's Jono is at his school. I don't know. Don't worry, I was and still didn't for me. Oh my gosh, everyone, relax. Relax. Slade's got the sub. Oh shoot, we're gonna have to talk about AVGL and how they should be a finalist next year. Thank you for the sub, Slants. Uh, no, but folks in chat were saying stuff. I wish I could make it. Did you want a headset, Adam? I can run one. No, it's okay, man. I appreciate you. I'm good. Um, but I really wish I could have joined. My plan was to come, but financially didn't make sense. I couldn't get it covered and decided to make the mature decision to not come. Thank you for the follow. It's mans. It's well overdue. Oof. Uh, great. Um, but everyone sounded like they had a good time. Always a shout out to Esports and Coffee for their meetups. I went last year. It was awesome. All those free open bars without you. I know. I know. But shout out to them. I love their that meetup last year was awesome. It was really cool. I also like generally just hate Vegas. Sorry to anyone who lives there. I'm assuming visiting and living there are different, so you're probably not too offended. But running the numbers, I just knew I would drop at least $1,500 going there. So decided to make a mature decision. And I knew I was covered because I'm traveling to Fargo, North Dakota this weekend and Atlanta next weekend for DreamHack. So like I got my travel covered. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I didn't make it out, but it sounded like it was really positive. There wasn't a ton of negatives, which was crazy. Are we getting old? Is collegiate esports getting old? Because there is a general uh, trend. Fargo, the Vegas of the Dakotas. Basically, I mean, if there was a Vegas of the Dakotas, I think it would have to be Fargo. But is there a general like? Is there? It seems like collegiate's getting soft, and not soft as in like we can't take criticism, but soft as in we're not. We're happy. We're nice. We're getting nice. Is that? I mean, it's good. I'm all about it. But is that just like everyone's getting nicer? Are the mean people leaving collegiate? That could actually be part of it. But generally, I feel like everyone's getting more positive about things. I don't know. Maybe that's because we're all getting nice. Nah, I just tolerate you. That's fair. It's a much better space, to be honest, if that's the case. That's true. That's true. I'm not here to say it's bad. I'm just saying it's weird to me being in collegiate for so long and it being so negative and everything we talked about was always negative. And now it seems like it's all positive and there's no negative or there's a lot less negative, which is good. It is better for our mental. We've been trying to push out toxic people for years. True, true. I think everyone is just quieter. Fair, fair. It's your Homer gift bagging into bushes. That's fair. Doing their own thing, which I think is fine. That's fair too. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. I think all that's great. I'm also a big proponent of like constructive criticism, especially of of groups or organizations. So I'm always going to come out with that part of the equation, which I think can be viewed as negative. But I don't think the ultimate goal of my criticism is never to be negative necessarily. It's to inspire change. Maybe inspire is a bad term because I'm not looking to inspire anyone. Motivate change. Motivate. Motivates. I don't know. But what I would say is like, and again, I wasn't there. It's another event where I'm like, it's another event where I'm like, I wasn't there, so I don't know how I'd feel if I was there. Um, uh, Sari says criticism isn't bad at all. We just have to turn them from being just words to being action. Absolutely. And I got the recordings of Sari's speeches, and I was inspired. That was great. It was so good. And congratulations on all that stuff. That was cool being up there. Um, but yeah, this is another event where I wasn't at. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. And I'm looking at it from where I was. I would say I was invited to be a panelist probably a month before the event, and I got like, and that's kind of when I got plugged in. I got plugged in for one meeting. I am on the official panel for the Scholars Awards. Teleprompters are hard. You know what? You didn't need a teleprompter. You really didn't. It was way better. Your speech was way better than the teleprompter. Um, Heat says, I would say the stream being 90 minutes after felt like a miss. Glad it was streamed though. Yeah, we had an inside guy and we still didn't win anything. Yeah, I'm sorry. I failed in my role. Um, yeah. I would say that the stream being not live was definitely a miss, or at least that it was like way after the actual event happened and like at midnight or later. Our time was definitely a miss. I agree with that. Um, I would say here's where I wish I went. Um, the event itself looked not as extravagant as the esports awards. And the last 2 years, I've been a finalist for the Collegiate Ambassador of the Year award. And it was only like a program of the year and then an ambassador, or whatever that meant, for collegiate, which wasn't enough for how many people deserve recognition in collegiate. So more awards I really like, and I like the I like the idea of kind of a separate awards. But I would say like part of like the coolness of being at the esports awards in the past was like I got to rub elbows and see like super big personalities, folks in the esports space. Like I got to sit, I was at a bar with folks from collegiate, and I was next to like some of the casters of League of Legends. Like that was cool. And like our in years past, not even last year, but the year before, like our award was announced in front of all those people, and it like brought a really cool attention to collegiate esports. And that I really liked. And seeing that the Scholars Awards were in like a banquet hall or like a conference room of a hotel, I think kind of hurt a little bit. And I don't know if that was the experience of folks who actually attended. I saw the red carpet like that. That's really cool. Um, uh, Lifetime Achievement uses the same room. That's fair. But the production level was definitely different. Yeah. And that kind of stinks. And it's because the esports awards is like so big and so like extravagant that I think it would be really cool if like the collegiate esports awards piece of it all had the same experience. And I don't know if that's necessarily even possible, especially considering like the production cost of putting on the esports awards. But yeah, I think that kind of hurt a little bit to see. Um, Uh, we didn't get to use the cool entry area stuff they made for esports awards. Yeah, consolidation does that for sure. Yeah, and like I saw that changing over the last couple years. Obviously, like the first year I was there, Doc won the award, and it was like in the esports arena in Dallas, and like we were an award at the main ceremony. And then the next year, like the Collegiate Ambassador of the Year was an award that was presented at the pre-show on the red carpet, which was even like more so pushed aside, like pushed to the side. And then now we have our own separate event, um, which like I don't know. There's really good positives to it, but definitely like seeing the progression of where collegiate was represented and the extravagance around that award kind of changing stinks to see, to be honest. Um, Hemisphere says, "What was the deal with Collegiate Program of the Year being pushed to Esports Awards as a throwaway segment?" Yeah, I don't really know how it was. It seemed like it was almost I don't know when the Collegiate Program of the Year was announced during the Esports Awards show. It almost looked like it was during the pre-show, like it was like Ambassador of the Year was last year. Um, my only thought process and looking at like the finalists that the esports awards folks picked before bringing in the panelists to kind of add to finalists, it seemed like that was a segment to be able to push large institutions in their narrative when they're selling to sponsors, if that makes sense. So like when they came out with their finalists, and I talked about this before I was a panelist, their finalists seemed like, hey, let's throw in some programs that actually like truly deserve it from a collegiate perspective, collegiate esports perspective, deserve to win program of the year. And then let's add a bunch of big institutions that everyone knows about to help our sponsorships. Thanks for the subscription, Helen Pause. I really appreciate it. Um uh um and and that same like vein of like, hey, let's get some big institutions in here to sell sponsorships or to create a narrative that's bigger than what collegiate esports currently is. Seems like that was the push for pushing it to the main awards, the esports awards. I do like the idea of like tying in scholars awards to the esports awards somehow in that way, but I don't know if is that the way to do it. I don't know. If it is, like it does need to be communicated, and it wasn't. It wasn't communicated. Oh, you didn't know. None of the program of the year finalists knew, and that like adds to a lot of things. Hype train is close. What is this? Pog Chew, thank you so much for the sub. Sheesh, y'all on fire. I was not a huge fan of that. Yeah, I wasn't either, but I do like the idea of tying in the Scholars Awards to Esports Awards somehow. Question in the future is like, from what I've been told is like, and this was told to me outside of the panel stuff, so I think it's fine to share. Is that they want to separate those events completely in the future and have the Scholars Awards at a school potentially or institution in the future, and the date or timing of the year, it might change. It might go to the spring or early summer instead, which in some regards makes sense. I'm a huge proponent of the tie-in between Scholars Awards and Esports Awards because of what I described earlier. I think it's just such a cool opportunity. JK, shoot with the prime. What is this? Y'all hopping in. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh my gosh. And another sub. Sari, thank you. Dang. Y'all on fire. Shoot. If they're gonna tie it in, integrate it, I like going to Vegas, but it was a fun experience, but I don't think it was done well. Yeah. Thank you. Subscribe 8 months in a row. Shoot. If I'm going to Vegas, it's to gamble, not be a professional. That's fair. That's fair. No, I know that they were tied to the contract with Resorts World for a couple years. I don't know how long that goes until. But yeah, that's been what's communicated to me, is that the thought is that it's going to be separated and probably a different time of year, which might be beneficial for us as well because their team is so focused on esports awards and then like the things that are connected to esports awards that Scholars is kind of, it seems like an afterthought in so many instances throughout the process. Yeah, so Scholars Awards, Esports Awards. But overall, it looked awesome. I saw a ton of positive stuff happening, a lot of positive comments, not a lot of negative comments. And that's good. That's good. But let's hop into my stuff, I guess. And I'll preface this with, even though I tweeted, is this the show to get me canceled? My goal is not to get canceled, obviously. And my other goal is that like I believe that everyone who was a finalist deserves to be a finalist, and anyone out of those finalists can become the winner of these awards based on community vote as well as panel votes. I also believe that everyone who won deserved to win. I think it was a great awards. I think it's really telling when we don't have a ton of twit-longers saying, what the heck happened? Which is a really positive benefit or a positive experience here. But what I will say and what I want to do is to be able to unveil the curtain on my nominations or my voting, not nominations, my voting, so that I can explain where I was at, where my head was at, and then also like spark some conversation that way as well. You're a very ugly crier. Get those clips ready. I'm also like preface, I'm not going to be sharing any of the topics of conversation that happened during the panel meeting. I'm not going to share any of the panel votes or the spreadsheets or anything of that sort. I do believe in like the sanctity of that trust that these panels have. But I don't believe in keeping my votes secret by any means. I debated putting these out publicly before, but I thought it would it would tarnish the excitement and experience of those who are finalists. So I waited until after. So yeah. Wow, we're so positive now, and this is going to get canceled by starting drama. See, I believe at least for right now, public showing of votes is good to hold people accountable. Is this a future tweet? It could be a future tweet. Like I'm not scared of showing my votes. Mans, remember I'm like 100 yards away. You better have voted for me. All right. Let's start. I have the categories up here, and I have the categories up here because when I went through and I made my panel vote, so basis or kind of preface for this or the background is to determine the winner of these awards, it's 25% public vote and 75% votes from the panel. So the panel votes are pretty strong. And if enough panelists vote for a specific finalist, like they become the finalist no matter like they become the winner almost regardless of the public vote. And when I went through and voted, made my selections, I heavily based it on how the categories are written currently. I believe it's my job as a panelist to vote for who I believe fits the award criteria the best, regardless of what I think the award criteria should be. So I want to preface that as well of like, hey, some of these votes, who I voted for or what I voted for, were much more based on how the award criteria is written currently, not necessarily what I believe the award criteria should be. Okay. If I got to change the award criteria, I would. There's a lot of weird wording in here that I believe is irrelevant and leads to a different vote than I think should happen, or who I should vote for if I were to create the same award. But that's not my place, in my opinion, or at least it's not my place currently. Maybe it is as the panel has further discussion over the next year. So the first award I actually did was Program of the Year. Collegiate Program of the Year. The Collegiate Program of the Year honors a program or group that has been involved in collegiate esports in the past year by organizing tournaments, broadcasts, or other initiatives to push the space forward. Their work will have significantly impacted the scene through solid performance, new ideas, or improving standards while bringing more awareness to collegiate esports in grassroots areas. This award description is not what I would pick when it comes to Program of the Year. I think there's a lot in this award criteria that that makes this different than what I would think of when I think of Program of the Year. Who ended up winning this Program of the Year was Oklahoma University. My vote, and you guys can, how do I like, how do I do this? I'm going to swap this over. I'm going to try to hide my future votes. Insert shape. Where's shape? Shape. Drawing? No. Building blocks. There's got to be like a box. I'm just going to do a new drawing. We're just going to make a box. Shapes. Square. Big square. Fill it in. Boom. Okay. And then make it like that. Beautiful. Haha. Nice. All right. So Program of the Year, my vote was actually Boise State University. And why I did that, I have an explanation on each of these votes. My quick explanation here is by going off the description of the award, I believe Boise is the best option here. They have organized new tournaments and broadcasts, including a Star League. Yeah. So I voted Boise here. Do I think Boise deserves Program of the Year if I were to create the award and I wanted to like highlight the best program of the year? Probably not. I think I would lean more towards the competitive side than the award is currently described. But that's not how the awards are written, in my opinion. But I think Boise has done a phenomenal job at organizing new tournaments. They've done a fantastic job at broadcasting. They broadcast most of NACE Star League at this point. They're doing a ton of other new initiatives, and I think they would be a great finalist for that, or winner of that. And I think a lot of the other Program of the Year nominees that were in that category, I think fall short on a lot of that stuff outside of the competitive side of things. So there's my first heartbreak for those in chat. Conference of the Year. I don't know why Conference of the Year is the next on my list. Gaming Conference of the Year. These are all out of order for some reason. Conference of the Year. What I looked at here was they provided a high quality experience to all its attendees, offering relevant and informative sessions, workshops, and addressing current trends. This gaming conference, it seems like this award was created for like a conference you attend, not a conference you compete in. Okay. So when we talk about like gaming conference, but we looked at the finalists. I wish I had the finalists up. The finalists were in line with more of like gaming, like a competitive conference you're a part of, but the award's written as a conference you attend. Okay. So when I looked at this award, I was like, okay, who is providing a quality experience for its members, informative sessions, et cetera, et cetera. This description doesn't make any sense now, even as I look at it even further, it makes no sense. But from the conversation or the description I had, it seemed like NACE does a lot more for members and creating professional development opportunities than anyone else on the finalist list. So I went with NACE on that one. Yeah, that description is so messed up. Program Director of the Year was the next one. Jesse ended up winning that one. Congratulations. Shout out to Jesse. Program Director of the Year. Commitment to enchanting the collegiate gaming education offered at their school. Shown through outcomes of students beyond their program, they will have demonstrated exceptional leadership and mentorship while promoting ethics and sustainability. Also, again, very weird description. Not really what I would push for. There's not even like a mention of competitive in here. My vote for this one was Dan. Dan shown a clear commitment to collegiate esports as well as high school esports in his community, has shown that Maryville produces students who go on to further that positive impact. Dan regularly see on Twitter speaking on how the space can improve while promoting a sustainable ecosystem. Yeah, Dan was my vote there. I think there was some really good potential finalists there, and there are some in chat who probably will be angry with me. But when I look at the description, when I look at what I know, the information I know about the directors in the space, I think Dan was the best. Was my vote for that one. This was a vote that I think had a lot of split votes from the panel's perspective, because they were just there were just some good candidates there. Yeah, but shout out to Jesse for winning that one. Yeah, I think that's all I'll say on that one for now. Club of the Year, I showed it at this point. But Club of the Year, I don't even know. Fostering inclusivity and diversity, welcoming anyone from any background. This one, I think, is always going to struggle. Anything club related or even student leader related is going to struggle with how the current panel is, mainly because the panel skews so much towards competitive and varsity in terms of who's on it, that a lot of times it like comes down to like who have we heard the most about. And for me, for that category, it's got to go to Niner Esports at UNC Charlotte. They ended up winning. I believe their recent news when it came to the funding for their new arena from the state was really positive. They've done a ton of stuff. I've seen them at various events, and they have a really good iRacing team. I'm kind of hot on iRacing, not gonna lie. But yeah, I thought they were really deserving of the award as well. Siri says it was tough category for sure. A lot of really incredible people doing great things. And as the world evolves and all programs are so different, everyone's contributions become hard to compare against each other. Come drive the rig here, bud. I can unlock it for you. I know. I gotta drive it more. We do have a really cool rig. Stu, this is Player of the Year. Collegiate Player of the Year. It ended up being Durtho from Boise, I believe. My vote actually went on to Ferbsa. Ferbsa is a Valorant player at Northwood. If you look at Northwood's um, uh, competitive run from a Valorant perspective, it was domination. And I just had to I just could not overlook that domination when it came to this Player of the Year. Obviously, my vote didn't win, but shout out to Ferbsa and Northwood Valorant because they just crushed competition this past year. Um, yeah, that was where my vote was there. There's a lot of Boise players in that one. Um, yeah, was heading to program that could do iRacing. Yeah, iRacing's dope. iRacing's so dope. Tournament organizer. Uh, Honors tournament organizers that run collegiate tournaments, featured outstanding in delivery of the competition, creating an incredible experience. Through the tournaments, the organizer will have raised the bar for innovation, while also demonstrating excellent inclusion and safeguarding policies. This one could have gone to a couple of different folks, in my opinion, but my vote went to NECC. I believe NECC has done a phenomenal job from my perspective and from what I've heard of creating awesome competition in collegiate esports. They've really driven innovation in the space that other tournament organizers look to or utilize as they develop their initiatives. And even though I've never had a team compete in NECC, I have heard so many positive things that like you can't ignore it. And shout out to NECC for their the competition they've done, and obviously they won that award as well. So yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, I put in here, I've never had a team compete in NECC, but through my conversations with other directors and coaches, I'm confident NECC provides high quality competition for a vast majority of the collegiate esports space and is deserving of the tournament organizer award. Team of the year, similar thing to what I was saying about their player. I do not believe there is a more dominant team in all of collegiate esports than Northwood Valorant has been over the last year. I think Dan from Maryville would beg to differ when it comes to League of Legends and teams he's had in the past, which I can't argue against. But if you look at Northwood's Valorant team, I mean, it's crazy. And I actually was just looking at this. Valorant wiki. I mean, you can see like these are the last competitions they've done. It's like first. It's crazy. Like absolute domination last school year. So yeah, I just shout out to them. That was my vote. I don't remember who won that one. Yeah, I don't remember who won that one. Someone might ask to talk about that one. Commercial partner of the year. I just showed it, but I want to look if the commercial partner is it even in here. Funding, blah blah blah. Basically, someone who provides a ton of stuff and just believes in the space. I think out of the finalists that were presented, I think MSI deserved it. That was my vote. They have been a phenomenal partner for collegiate esports. A significant amount of that is due to Christine's leadership. She's been awesome. She won Collegiate Ambassador of the Year last year. And I think MSI has demonstrated that they deserve that award. I will caveat that award with or in terms of how I thought about it when I came in. Obviously, the finalists were already chosen, but what I would love to see is a list of commercial partners that are finalists that actually care about collegiate esports. What I would say is besides MSI and maybe one or two other commercial partners in that category, I would say a vast majority of them, I have not seen what they do if they do anything in collegiate esports. And what Sari just said in chat, yeah, I want to see finalists like Spectrum Industries, CDW, Gravity Gaming, Esports Gear, which I think was a finalist, but then were pulled because somebody asked for them to be pulled. But those are the commercial partners that actually care about the space and are actually helping. They're not just like sponsoring a tournament. Um, and that I would love to see. I mean, this is just, I mean, when I look at these finalists, like outside of MSI and like one or two others, I'm like, these are just the esports awards trying to sell sponsorships. They have nothing to do with who's actually supporting collegiate esports, and that frustrates me because there are companies like Spectrum, Scott at Spectrum, Doug at TDW, and Gravity Gaming, obviously, and Josh, and their esports gear, esports foundry, Chris Postel, and the research they do for collegiate. Like those are the companies, the commercial partners that actually care about collegiate esports and are actually giving the time and resources to the space. And those are the people that like continually I see these types of awards, even at NACE, where they don't even have them as finalists. I'm like, what are you all doing? Like, can we please just acknowledge the people who actually care and are doing stuff in the space? NACAD could even be a commercial partner, maybe. I don't know if that they fit the criteria, but like these are organizations that are actually doing stuff in the space, and they don't get recognition for it. It's baffling to me. So that's my hot take on there. Collegiate Student of the Year. Oh, another one. A ton of deserving folks on this list. Mans is in chat. I've seen what you do day to day. Fump is in chat. I mean, folks are in chat. Jorge's in chat. This category was stacked. It was stacked. It's not fair. Okay, it's not fair. But my vote went to someone who's been involved in the student leadership side for a very long time. I'm surprised he's still a student, to be honest with you. And that student ended up winning the award. It was AJ Taylor from Illinois. Has done a ton of stuff in the space. I remember when I first got into collegiate esports, he was doing stuff at Illini or for the Illini, and they're running LANs and stuff. Like I could not vote for someone else at this point. I think again, really difficult award to award there. It's just a stacked category. I know. How could I? Okay, whatever. But AJ has been doing it for so long. And I think he was deserving of it. I think, yeah, it's just, that's a tough award. I'm gonna be real, like, especially because like I talk to all of you, like some of you daily. I talk to some of you daily, and you guys are doing amazing work. So this was definitely a hard category for me to judge. But yeah, that one I think for me, had to go to AJ this year at least. Yeah, I don't even know where like Big Ten esports would be without AJ at this point. He's just had such an impact in the Midwest from a student leadership perspective. I'm curious if you public voted at all or if you only panel voted. I only panel voted because I knew early on that they were thinking about bringing me on as a panelist. It just took forever for them to actually like get me into the server. But no, I did not publicly vote. I only panel voted. Yeah. Institution of the Year. Okay, this one might get me more canceled than any other one. Because maybe I shouldn't have even voted on this one because Ferris was up for nomination. They were a finalist. Ferris was a finalist. This next one is a man who wants to keep his job. No, it's not. Okay. When I look at the Institution of the Year, the Institution of the Year honors an institution that has offered qualifications in esports or gaming to students over the last 12 months. The institution will have offered meaningful and impactful education to its students, offering value to both those who take the courses and the wider collegiate gaming community. It will also have achieved high levels of success while fostering a sustainable, and professional community. Yes, these descriptions were available from the start. So let me talk. When I look at the institution of the year and I looked at the schools that were finalists for it, the best option objectively Ferris State University. I work at Ferris. I understand that. Very bad. Maybe I should not have even panel voted for this. But from from when I look at the description of the award and I look at the finalists, Ferris is the clear option. Even looking at the winner, Boise State, phenomenal institution. They've done a phenomenal job at esports. They've done great stuff. I love Doc. Doc's awesome. One of the goats of collegiate esports. But they have not offered a certificate or education in esports. So I didn't vote for Boise. I voted for Ferris State University. I mean, we could pull up the finalists, and I will defend this tooth and nail to the end of time of like Ferris, in my opinion, is the most deserving based on the current description of the award. Bring it. Bring it. I will die. I will take this to my grave because I believe it in all of my heart. If you look at the description and if you ask the panelists, in my opinion, if you ask the panelists, read the description of the award and then make your decision, you get very quickly down to a very select few finalists. And I believe Ferris was the most qualified. So, yeah. We didn't even win. We had a biased voter. We didn't even win. Public and panel, however, my votes were not the same for each. When I voted as a collegiate esports Sari versus when I voted as scholars, I went with different approaches who I've personally learned from, etc. Blah, blah, blah. I'll protect King. Thank you for voting for your own. Yeah, okay. I think St. Clair should have been nominated too. If St. Clair was in there, I would have a difficult time picking Ferris over St. Clair. I think both of them, we look at, if St. Clair was a finalist, I think my vote would go for St. Clair, to be honest with you. Looking at the description and basing my votes as a panelist off of the descriptions, I think St. Clair would have gotten my vote. Yeah, the academic list side, yeah. JK says the academic side of things takes the list and narrows it way down. Yes, absolutely. And that's my argument. Is like there are very few finalists on that list that even offer an academic thing there. So I listed a bunch of reasons why I felt like I needed to defend myself a little bit more on that one, just because obviously it could be viewed as biased. And there is bias there. Obviously, I work here. But when I objectively look at it as best as I can from my perspective, Ferris, I think, was a clear pick from my perspective. Land of the year, it's basically the best event that happened. My vote went to CRL Worlds. I went to it. It was awesome. It was huge. It's probably the biggest collegiate LAN, in my opinion. Most impressive in-person activation, in my opinion. I don't believe they won. I think CECC won, which is again a great LAN event. But when I went to Worlds and saw the big activation, big screens, big casters, etc., I thought it was really impressive. So, I personally think St. Clair doesn't get the respect they deserve. When they win something, people riot on why they don't deserve to win, or they'll cut completely. I have so much respect for that program. Yeah, fair, totally fair. I think, if St. Clair, I think St. Clair should have been a finalist in that category. Yeah. What's up, Lugnuts? Am I at the last award yet? Oh, good in gaming. Oh, what a good category. Oh, this was such a good category. I love the addition of this category. So the Good in Gaming award was presented by Team Liquid, aims to recognize an exceptional individual organization that over the past year has demonstrated commendable efforts in promoting diversity and inclusivity within the collegiate gaming community. The deserving recipient will embody the following criteria: championing inclusivity, amplifying diverse voices, and developing inclusive practices. A ton of people deserve I love the finalists they chose. I thought it was really good. I didn't get to choose the finalists. I believe it was the panel before I was put in. Thank you for the follow, L types. Appreciate that. Um, but yeah, I had to pick one as the panelist. And I have a lot of friends on this finalist thing too. Lugnuts just got in chat. Congratulations to the winner in chat. This was another like split vote situation. Like I think I don't remember the exact breakdown, but I think like almost every panelist had a different vote for this. And I think a lot of that has to do with like how how exposed we are to each individual on the as of the finalists. Um, uh, and part of that is reason why I voted on this one or who I voted for. Um, but I voted for Cora. Uh, from my perspective, when I've been working with me and Cora talk a lot. She does photography, I do photography. She sends me all of her tweets to retweet for her. And the work she's done in promoting inclusivity and diversity has been nothing short of phenomenal. And I just, from my perspective, what I wrote down here is there's not a single other person who has done more in collegiate esports this year to promote diversity and inclusivity within the collegiate gaming community than Cora, in my opinion. But there are some phenomenal people. Lugnuts obviously has done some awesome stuff. Esports and Coffee. I actually put in a little shout out here because the week prior to voting, I met Dr. Gray, who was a finalist. I went to the University of Michigan. She spoke at a symposium for esports, and I got to meet her and hear her talk about accessibility in the space and inclusivity, and it was awesome. Blew me away. And hearing what she's actually done in Scholastic Esports surprised me because I knew almost none of it before, and she does some phenomenal stuff too. Um, so yeah, what a good category. I mean, it was awesome. And shout out again to Lugnuts for winning. But yeah, and shout out to the other finalists. I think that was just a good award. I loved it. If you don't know Dr. Sarah Hayes, you should look into her as well. I don't. I will. I will. I think all those folks are awesome. Man. All right. I think the last one is Global Impact. Okay, this is the one I was a finalist for. Um, through conversations with the panel, I mean, I'm like I said, I won't talk about details, but it seemed like this was more of the award that's like gonna be the you get it once potentially and like that's it, and it's like more of like looking at your entire career and what you've done versus like the last year. But the description is their work will have made the collegiate gaming space a better place for everyone involved, and they will have achieved this leading by example and showing the highest level of integrity and professionalism. This award is 100% voted by the panel. And my vote for this one was Dan. Um, there was a handful of us. Esports and Coffee's a finalist. I was a finalist. A bunch of other folks were finalists. But from my perspective, and I wrote this in my description, there's not a single individual that has transformed collegiate esports more than Dan Clark. Since starting Maryville Esports in 2016, he has built and maintained a nationally recognized and praised esports program. He has pushed this industry in a positive direction and left a lasting mark on the space that will be felt for a very long time. Um, Wholeheartedly agree, believe that. When we look at like where collegiate esports started, and where it is now, you cannot write the history of collegiate esports without Dan and Maryville Esports included. And I don't know if anyone could argue against that. And that's why I voted for him on that one. And congratulations to him. He ended up winning, which was awesome. Yeah. So that was my Scholars Awards votes. Some, I don't know if any of them were necessarily spicy, uh, but that's where I voted. My goat. Hey, my goat, Dan Clark. And congrats, Fump. You announced you're transferring to Maryville. That's exciting. Gonna go live in St. Louis, Missouri. Woo! Been there, done that. Have fun. Um, wow, we are over time. Beautiful. Still haven't figured out where to live yet. Good luck. It's expensive, I think. Right? St. Louis is pretty expensive. No such thing as being overtime. Yeah, there is. Y'all got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. I got a match tonight, 7 finals for our conference, Varsity Plus Rocket League conference. Woo woo. See how it goes. I don't even know who we play. Who do we play? I wonder if it's someone in this chat. Now I gotta look. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Oh yeah, I knew who it was. Nah, it's no one in the chat. Nice. I'll be here waiting for you to yell at. Hey, good. I will be. Maybe I'll go get dinner first. Oh, I have to pick up my new coworker, AJ. Oh shoot, let's go. AJ started. Ah! Shout out to AJ. You're hungry? Well, let's go get dinner, and you can complain to me all dinner long. Thanks for the invite. Your invite's right now. I was gonna walk over by myself, but let's do it. Pretty much over to me. Lots of recruiting right now since FAFSA doesn't go up till January. Yeah, that's so crazy. That's so crazy that FAFSA got pushed back. That's gonna be such a pain for everybody. We're getting Mexican food to celebrate. Yay! Woo! Nice. Have fun. Yeah, tell AJ we all said hi. Are we gonna start seeing esports and coffee where like you two are in person? That'd be cool. But that's it for my show today. I don't have anything else to talk about. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We had a ton of subs, like 4 at a hype train or something. That's crazy. Thank you all. A couple new follows. I really appreciate it. You have to tune in. I know the problem is this semester I'm teaching Tuesday and Thursday nights, so I haven't been able to watch all semester. But next semester, all my in-person classes are Monday, Wednesday, so I will be able to watch next semester. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go get yelled at by Mans. Last stream of the year is 12/12. Oh, that's exam week. I should be able to watch that. Oh wait, no, I have to give an exam. No, I have to give an exam that time. Maybe I can watch while they're taking their exam. Star Professor. No, but thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna hop off, go get yelled at by Mans, get some food, and then go coach a Rocket League match. And I appreciate y'all stopping by. Do an exam about ENC. That'd be fascinating. For an intro to game design course. Interesting. Have a great week, everybody. Until next time, good luck with your matches if you have any. If you don't, enjoy your little break here until January, or the slowness if you have any. Yeah, have a good week. Enjoy. Stay warm. And for those in Florida, we're jealous. Okay, bye. Thank you all.